heard about the sea turtles?
No, what are they?
The endangered sea turtles? Oh, let me tell you. They're called the ancient animals of the sea. There are 7, and they're all endangered. There's the green, the olive ridley, the Kemp ridley, the leatherback, the loggerhead, the flatback, and the hawksbill. The International Union of the Conservation of Nature lists all but one of the 7 species to be vulnerable. And this is because of populations dwindling as a result of poaching, pollution, coastal development, and poor fishing management. However, the effects of climate change present a whole new host of issues of these organisms, including changes in reproduction processes, sea level rise, and decrease in food availability.
Unlike us, the sex of a sea turtle is dependent on temperature, not an X or Y chromosome. Generally, eggs that are placed in the warmer, higher areas of the nest become female, and the eggs in the lower, cooler parts become male. This sex-determining incubation threshold is called the pivotal temperature. Due to an increase in anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions and other factors, from 1880 to 2016, not only did global temperatures rise a net 1.69 degrees Celsius, but the net rate at which temperatures rose increased. And this caused a serious feminization of the population. A recent study found that juveniles from the warmer northern area of the Great Barrier Reef were 99.1% female, compared to the 65 to 69% females in the cooler southern regions of the Great Barrier Reef. Now, all sea turtles, except for the leatherback, nest during the warmest months of the year. This is a natural mechanism for increasing their reproductive potential because you only need one male to fertilize several females. However, in the future populations, they could be at risk if there aren't enough males to sustain the population. These rising temperatures have also been shown to decrease hatchling swimming ability and increase egg mortality rates. Wait! But sea turtles have been on Earth for millions of years. They have lived through multiple glacial and interglacial periods. Why is now so different? Well, actually, yes, sea turtles in the past have adapted to change through changing their pivotal temperatures, nesting sites, and even potentially their nesting seasons. However, the speed at which the climate is changing has never occurred so rapidly. Animals with temperature-dependent sex determination like turtles and crocodiles will most likely not be able to adapt.
Changes in sea level rise, as well as ocean circulations, have impacted sea turtles' nesting and migration. This is from the melting polar ice caps, as well as thermal expansion. This is having an effect on the ability for the turtles to nest, as most turtles nest every 2 to 4 years in the lower beaches and tropical areas. These areas have experienced 4 centimetres of sea level rise since the 1800s, and according to scientists, sea level rise is projected to be greatest in equatorial regions due to gravitational effects. The turtles will lose lots of their nesting habitats, as well as lose the beaches to the sea. According to the IPCC, climate change results in an increase in the severity of tropical storms, and this can also increase the likelihood of disturbances on turtles' nests. Sea turtles are highly mobile creatures, and they travel vast distances around the oceans. As the world's glaciers and ice caps melt, fresh water is released into the oceans. Some scientists believe that a change in salinity due to increased loads of fresh water into the oceans may result in an overturn and stop these important ocean circulations. This will have a major impact on the turtles' migration and could limit their capabilities to find suitable nests.
Depending on its species, a sea turtle may be a carnivore, omnivore, or herbivore, and a sea turtle may also follow a different diet at various points in its life cycle. However, regardless of diet preferences, the increase in water temperature and changes in ocean currents as a result of climate change will affect the abundance and distribution of sea turtle food sources. Warmer marine temperatures have led to a bloom in populations of jellyfish and sponges, which are the only food sources for the leatherback turtle and hawksbill turtle, respectively. While this might seem like a win for conservation, other turtle species feeding on seagrass and shellfish are not so lucky. Ocean nutrient and sediment pollution caused by human activity has reduced light penetration into the ocean, dramatically reducing growth of seagrass beds, a major food source for several sea turtle species. Meanwhile, ocean acidification induced by climate change is severely reducing populations of shellfish and other key prey organisms. The ocean absorbs roughly a quarter of all atmospheric CO2, and as CO2 concentration in the water increases, chemical reactions occur that reduce both seawater pH and carbonate ion concentrations in what is known as ocean acidification. Carbonate ions are a key building material for many shelled organisms, such as crabs and mollusks, and the absence of these carbonates from the ocean limits the growth of shellfish populations, a major problem for sea turtle species that consume such food sources. Further, ocean acidification is making it increasingly difficult for reef-building corals to create their skeletons, leading to massive reef death. As reefs support a number of marine organisms, their deaths severely limit the abundance of food sources for sea turtles.
What can you do? The human population needs to come together to take responsibility for our actions, and there are a few things we can do to help. The first is spreading awareness so that people know the impacts of their decisions and actions. We can also help populations to adapt by helping turtles nest and facilitate hatchlings through volunteering, setting up shade cloths at nesting sites, or helping hatchlings reach the water. And if you can't volunteer your time, consider supporting nonprofits and NGOs that advocate for policy change. However, the most important actions that can be taken is mitigation. This involves lessening the impacts of climate change by reducing our everyday emissions and ideally reversing some of the harm that we've caused. Don't let these adorable creatures die. They've been here for millions of years and do not deserve to die from anthropogenically induced climate change.
Wow, thanks for telling me about that. I'm gonna go buy some reusable bags. See ya.
Who's next?